Geobyte.
Hello friends, welcome to the GeoByte. In this video, let us discuss some simple problems for properties of fluids under the course of fluid mechanics. Dear friends, the each and every problem that we are going to discuss is equal important. Therefore, please watch till the last problem. These problems are very useful for both mechanical and civil students who are preparing for RRB JE, SSC JE, and other state level exams, state level competitive exams. Look at the very first problem. Look at the very first problem. If 5-meter cube of certain oil weighs 40 kilonewton, volume of the oil given or volume occupied by the oil is given, weight of the oil is given. The specific weight of the oil, you are asked to find the specific weight of the oil. First you write the given data. Given data is volume is equal to 5 meter cube, weight equal to 40 kilonewton. Since all options are given in Newton per meter cube, you please convert the weight into newtons. It is 40,000 Newton because 1 kilonewton is equal to 10 power 3 newtons. Then the specific weight. What is the specific weight formula? Specific weight denoted by capital W equal to weight by volume. Your weight is given 40,000 divided by 5. 5 8 ja 40. So it is equal to finally 8,000 Newton per meter cube. Therefore, the specific weight of the oil is 8,000 Newton per meter cube. Your weight is in, look at the units, weight is in Newton, volume is in meter cube. Newton per meter cube is the unit of specific weight. Of course, it may also be in kilonewton per meter cube, but options are given in Newton per meter cube. Therefore, option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take another problem. Look at the second problem. A body of dimensions 1.5 meter into 1 meter into 3 meter weighs 4500 kg. Look at the unit. 4500 kg means the given value is mass, though it is given as weight. The given value based on the unit you need to discuss. So since the kg is the unit of mass, therefore the given 4500 is the kg, it is the mass of the water. Mass of the water. Okay. It's a specific gravity. You are asked to find the specific gravity of water. Now first let us decide the density of the liquid. You know, the specific gravity equal to density of the liquid, by density of water. Density of water at 4 degrees centigrade. Here density of water at 4 degrees centigrade is 1000 kg per meter cube. This is standard value. This is the density of water at 4 degree centigrade. Now look at the data which is given. the data given is mass given equal to 4500 kg. Here the first given value I can say length, breadth, height. So volume equal to length multiplied by breadth multiplied by height. So length is given, look at the values, 1.5 into 1 into 3. 1.5 into 1 into 3 is equal to 4.5 meter cube. Then the density of the liquid equal to mass by volume. Here mass equal to 4500 divided by volume 4.5. Of course, the given liquid itself is water. Then this is equal to density of the liquid equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. Therefore, specific gravity equal density of the liquid is 1000 and density of the water at 4 degrees centigrade also 1000. Therefore, specific gravity of the given water is 1.0, has no units. Specific gravity is free from units. Look at the options. Look at the option C. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the third problem. Stoke is the unit of, dear friends, 1 stoke equal to or 1 centimeter square per second is equal to 1 stoke, not stroke, S-T-O-K-E. So 1 stoke equal to 1 centimeter square per second. It is the kinematic viscosity unit. Kinematic viscosity unit in CGS system. Whereas 1 meter square per second is also kinematic, the kinematic viscosity unit, kinematic viscosity in MKS system. So kinematic viscosity is in meter square per second in MKS system. Kinematic viscosity in CGS system is either in centimeter square per second or stoke. Anyhow, look at the options. The kinematic viscosity, stoke is the unit of absolute viscosity, no. Kinematic viscosity in CGS system, absolutely correct. Option B is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Look at the next problem. If the velocity distribution of a fluid over a plate is given by u equal to 3 by 4 y minus y square, where u is the velocity in meter per second and a be the distance in meters above the plate. The velocity gradient at y equal to 0.1 meter is, it is given like this. U is given in terms of y, 3 by 4 into y minus y square. You are asked to find the velocity gradient at y equal to 0.1 meter is how much? You know, the velocity gradient is du by dy. Velocity gradient equal to du by dy. D by dy, u is given how much? 3 by 4 into y minus y square. You simplify it, differentiate it. It is 3 by 4 minus 2y. but he is asking the velocity gradient du by dy at y equal to 0.1 meter. Y equal to 0.1 meter. You are asked to find the velocity gradient at y equal to 0.1 meter. So it is equal to 3 by 4. In place of y, you put the 0.1 minus 2 into 0.1. Simplify this value. Here 3 by 4, as we know, 0.75 minus 0.2. 2 into 0.1, 0.2. It is equal to 0.75 minus 0.2, 0.255. So this is the velocity gradient or rate of strain at 0.1 meter. Look at the options. 0.55. Look at the option C. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the fifth problem. The force required to pull a plate at a velocity 0.25 meter per second through a gap of 0.15 meter filled with water is 0.5 Newton. That means force required to pull the plate is 0.5 Newton. The plate is moving with a velocity. V equal to 0.25 meter per second. So this is the force. Force F is given, velocity given. Gap between the two plates. Gap between two plates is given 0.15 mm. That is filled by lubricant or oil, 0.15 mm. Then you are asked to find the power required. As we know, power P equal to force multiplied by distance traveled by plate per second. Here distance traveled by plate per second is nothing but a velocity. So finally it is 0.5 into velocity 0.25. You simplify this value for getting 0.125. Sorry. Look at the units. Force is in Newton. Distance traveled is in meter per second. Here 1 Newton meter equal to 1 joule. Here it is also written as joule per second. 1 joule per second equal to 1 watt. So anyhow, the answer is 0.125 watts. 0.125 watts. Look at the options. Look at the very first option. Option A is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the sixth problem. The velocity profile u equal to 3 into y power 2 by 3. U is in centimeter per second. Y is in centimeter. Okay. The velocity gradient at the boundary. Here boundary means at the solid surface or at the surface where the fluid is flowing. It is like this. This is the surface. This is the surface on which the fluid is flowing, like this. Like this the fluid layers are traveling with the different velocities. This solid surface itself is called boundary. So here the velocity at a particular layer u is given 3 into y power 2 by 3. the velocity gradient at the boundary y equal to 0. Indirectly you are asked to find the velocity gradient du by dy at y equal to 0. First let us find the velocity gradient. Velocity gradient equal to du by dy. d by dy into u equal to 3 into y power 2 by 3. Simplify this. Simple mathematics. School level mathematics. 3 constant. It is n into x power n minus form. 2 by 3 into y power 2 by 3 minus 1. It is like this. d by dx into x power n equal to n into x power n minus 1. That form. Okay. So this 3 cancelled. Finally it is 2 into y power 2 minus 3 by 3. It is equal to 2 into y power minus 1 by 3. Can also be written as 2 divided by y power 1 by 3. That is the velocity gradient. But he is asking the du by dy. But he is asking du by dy at y equal to 0. It is equal to 2 by 0 power y equal to 0 power 1 by 3. It is equal to 2 by 0 power anything is 0. 2 by 0 or anything divided by 0 equal to infinity. Therefore, the velocity gradient at the boundary for the given problem is infinity. That is the answer. Look at the options. Look at the options. Look at the option B. Option B infinity. Therefore, B is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 7th problem. At a certain point in castor oil, the shear stress is 0.32 Newton per meter square. Here the shear stress generally denoted by tau is equal to 0.32 Newton per meter square. And the velocity gradient denoted by du by dy is given 0.32 per second or second inverse. Okay. If the mass density of oil is density of oil is given, let it be rho, equal to how much it is given, 800 kg per meter cube. Okay. The kinematic viscosity of the oil in cm square per second. You are asked to find the kinematic viscosity of the oil in cm square per second. Kinematic viscosity nu is how much in cm square per second. As we know, kinematic viscosity nu equal to mu by rho. Density is given in the problem, but mu is not given. Mu you can find like this. As we know, the shear stress tau equal to mu into du by dy according to Newtonian law of fluid. From this, the tau, what is the tau value? 0.32. Mu into du by dy, that is the velocity gradient, also 0.32. Then what is the mu value? mu value you are getting 0.32 by 0.32, it is equal to 1 Newton second per meter square. That is the dynamic viscosity mu is in Newton second per meter square. It is equal to 1 by density of the oil given. Density of the oil given is 800 kg per meter cube. Dynamic viscosity by density is the kinematic viscosity. You simplify this value. For getting 1.25 into 10 raised minus 3 meter square per second. Meter square per second. It can also be written as we know 1 meter equal to 100 centimeters. Then 1 meter square equal to 100 square centimeter square. Here 100 square equal to 10 power 4 cm square. Since in the problem it is clearly asked kinematic viscosity in cm square per second, it should be converted to cm square per second. For that you have to multiply with 10 power 4. It is 1.25 into 10 power minus 3 into 10 power 4 for getting in cm square per second. You simplify this value for getting around 12.5 cm square per second. That is the kinematic viscosity. Look at the options. Look at the option B, 12.5 cm square per second. Therefore, option B is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 8th problem. A flow of viscous fluid with mu equal to 1 Newton second per meter square. Dynamic viscosity mu equal to 1 Newton second per meter square. Has a velocity distribution is given by velocity distribution u equal to y minus y square. That is the velocity distribution. You are asked to find the shear stress at y equal to 0.5. Shear stress, the shear stress tau at y equal to 0.5 meter, how much? That is the problem. As we know, shear stress, the shear stress tau equal to mu into du by dy. That is the shear stress. Mu is given, but u is given. You have to find the du by dy. Du by dy equal to d by dy into u y minus y square. Simplify this value. It is 1 minus 2y. Now du by dy at y equal to 0.5 meter equal to 1 minus 2. In place of this y, you put the 0.5. It is equal to 1 minus 2 into 0.5, 1 equal to 0. Therefore velocity gradient at y equal to 0.5 meter is 0. Now the shear stress tau at y equal to 0.5 meter equal to mu into du by dy at y equal to 0.5 meter. The mu given, what is the mu value which is given? Mu is 1 Newton second per meter square. 1 Newton second per meter square into du by dy. The du by dy at y equal to 0.5 meter is this one. Is equal to simply 0 into 0. 0 into something is 0. Therefore, the shear stress at y equal to 0.5 meter is equal to 0. That is the answer. Look at the options. Look at the options. Look at the option A. Option A is given 0. Therefore, A is absolutely correct option. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the ninth problem. The velocity distribution near the solid wall at the section in a laminar flow is given by the velocity distribution is given u equal to 6 sine 6 pi y. So that is the velocity distribution. For y is less than or equal to 0.1 meter, the shear stress at the solid wall at y equal to 0. The shear stress at y equal to 0 equal to how much? Equal to how much? Now the shear stress formula, shear stress equal to what? Shear stress tau equal to mu into du by dy. Let us find the du by dy first. It is equal to d by dy into 6 into sine 6 pi y. You differentiate it, school level mathematics, 6 into the differentiation of sine theta is becoming cos theta, cos 6 pi y multiplied by 6 pi. It is equal to 36 into pi into cos 6 pi y. Since you are asked to find the shear stress at y equal to 0, let us find the du by dy at y equal to 0. It is equal to, so in the place of y, in the place of this y, put y equal to 0. It is equal to 36 into pi into cos 0. Cos 0 equal to 1. So it is equal to 36 into pi. That is the du by dy at y equal to 0. But what is the shear stress? Look at the shear stress formula. Shear stress tau equal to mu into du by dy. Then shear stress at y equal to 0 equal to mu into du by dy at y equal to 0. Mu into du by dy at y equal to 0, how much? 36 into pi. 36 into pi. You simplify this value, right? 36 into pi into mu. That is the answer. So the shear stress at y equal to 0 meter is 36 into pi into mu. Let us go for the options. Look at the option C, 36 pi into mu. Therefore, option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 10th problem. Paper pulp can be regarded as option A, Newtonian fluid, option B, dilatant fluid, option C, pseudoplastic fluid, option D, Bingham fluid. Before answering, first let us know what is the meaning of dilatant fluid, pseudoplastic fluid and Bingham fluid. Look at the dilatant fluid. Dilatant fluid means viscosity increases with time. If viscosity of any liquid increases with time, such kind of liquid is called dilatant fluid. Example, quicksand, butter, painting ink, sugar in water, rice starch, lipstick, lipstick, lipstick. Lipstick viscosity also increases with time. These are all coming under dilatant fluid. Anyhow, if the viscosity of the liquid is increasing with time, such kind of liquid is called dilatant fluid. Examples, quicksand, butter, painting ink, sugar in water, rice, starch, lipstick, etc. Come to the pseudoplastic fluid. Pseudoplastic fluid means viscosity decreases with time. If the viscosity of the liquid decreases with time, such kind of fluid is called pseudoplastic fluid. Example, blood, milk, paper pulp, these are all coming under pseudoplastic fluid. So anyhow, the he is asking paper pulp. The paper pulp is coming under what? Pseudoplastic fluid. The answer is C. Now come to the other kind of fluid, that is Bingham fluid. Look at the Bingham fluid. Bingham fluid means they require some minimum force before they start to flow. You take the shaving cream, toothpaste, Fair and Lovely, etc. Uh, the toothpaste is coming out from the tube under the influence of external force. It means you have to press the tube to maintain the flow in the toothpaste. Such kind of fluid is called Bingham fluid. Bingham fluid means they require some minimum force before they start to flow. Example, toothpaste, drilling mud, sewage, Fair and Lovely, Vico turmeric. These are all coming under Bingham fluids. Other one is the first one, Newtonian fluid. Newtonian fluid means it is like this. Newtonian fluid. Newtonian fluid. Newtonian fluid means shear stress is proportional to shear strain. Shear stress is proportional to rate of shear strain. Rate of shear strain. Shear stress is proportional to rate of shear strain for the Newtonian fluid. That means shear stress tau is proportional to du by dy. For eliminating the proportional limit, we are keeping a constant called dynamic viscosity mu into du by dy. Here tau is the shear stress. Tau is the shear stress. Mu is the coefficient of dynamic viscosity. Du by dy be the velocity gradient or rate of shear strain. This equation is called Newtonian equation or Newtonian law. Newtonian law. If any liquid is satisfying this particular equation, such kind of liquid is called Newtonian liquid. The best example for Newtonian fluid is water. Water is the best example for Newtonian fluid. I hope you got my point. Here pseudoplastic fluid, paper pulp is coming under pseudoplastic fluid. Pseudoplastic fluid means viscosity decreases with time. I hope you got my point. Since it is asked for a paper pulp is coming under pseudoplastic fluid in which the viscosity decreases with time. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 11th problem. The general relation between shear stress tau and velocity gradient du by dy for a fluid can be written as tau equal to a into du by dy power n plus b. Shear stress tau equal to a into du by dy power n plus b. This is also called power law. Okay. It is asked which of the following is an false statement. You are asked to decide the incorrect statement, not correct statement. Look at the first statement. For ideal fluid, A equal to 0, B equal to 0. Ideal fluid means viscosity 0. Viscosity is 0. If viscosity is 0, shear stress equal to 0. Now for the ideal fluid, if A equal to 0, B equal to 0. If this fellow is 0, this fellow is 0, shear stress equal to 0. So anyhow, the condition given as option A is correct, but you are asked to decide the incorrect statement. So anyhow, the first statement is not incorrect statement. Come to the option B for Newtonian fluid. Here tau equal to again A into du by dy power n plus b. For Newtonian fluid is given b equal to 0, n equal to 1. Let us apply it. B equal to 0. So A into du by dy. Then this A is the constant. I can say it is mu into du by dy. This is the Newtonian law. Newtonian law. Therefore, the second statement also correct. But is asking incorrect statement. B is not correct. Come to the third statement. For a dilatant fluid, n is less than 1 and b equal to 0. Dear friends, remember, for a dilatant fluid and for pseudoplastic fluid, for pseudoplastic fluid, remember, for a pseudoplastic fluid, n is less than 1 and b equal to 0. Whereas for dilatant fluid, n is greater than 1, b, the secondary constant b equal to 0. Now look at the third statement. For dilatant fluid, n is less than 1. No, for dilatant fluid, n should be greater than 1. B is 0. Anyhow, the third statement is not correct. Since he is asking incorrect statement, therefore option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take the fourth statement. For ideal plastic fluid or Bingham fluid, n equal to 1, b equal to tau naught. It is also absolutely correct statement. Since it is asked to decide the incorrect statement, first statement is correct, second statement is correct, fourth statement correct. Only third statement is incorrect. Since it is asked to decide the incorrect statement, therefore our option is C. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 12th problem. A liquid compressed in a cylinder has a volume 1 liter at a pressure of 1.5 megapascal. It is like this. V1 equal to 1 liter at P1 equal to 1.5 megapascal. Okay. And volume 0.99 liters at a pressure of 3 megapascal. The volume V2 equal to 0.99 liters when the P2 equal to 3 megapascal. Okay. You are asked to decide the bulk modulus of elasticity. You are asked to find the bulk modulus. Bulk modulus K is how much? As we know, bulk modulus K equal to the dP by minus EV, because as the pressure increases, volume decreases. Here EV be the volumetric strain. V2 minus V1 by V1. That is the volumetric strain. So anyhow, it can be written as minus dP. dP means here P2 minus P1. dP equal to P2 minus P1. Let me write the value. P2 equal to 3 minus P1 1.5 divided by EV equal to V2 minus V1. V2 is 0.99 minus V1 1 divided by 1. Simplify this value. It is equal to minus 1.5 divided by minus 0.01. So this minus cancel. Finally, it is 1.5 by 0.01. It is equal to 150 megapascal. So that is the bulk modulus for given problem. Look at the options. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Therefore, option C is correct. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 13th problem. A pressure of 1.5 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter square is applied 600 liters of liquid. Pressure is given 1.5 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter square. Okay. The volume, initial volume V equal to 600 liters. Okay. Cause a volume reduction. Volume reduction means change in volume directly given 2 liters. The compressibility of liquid. You know, compressibility is the reciprocal of the bulk modulus. Compressibility, first let us find the, first let me write the compressibility. Compressibility equal to reciprocal of the bulk modulus, 1 by bulk modulus. It is equal to 1 by bulk modulus is what? Pressure by dV by V. dV by V. It is equal to dV by V, dV by V, whole thing by pressure. Whole thing by pressure. The dV by V is what? dV is 2 divided by volume 600 divided by pressure 1.5 into 10 power 6. You simplify this value. Look at the values which is given. Here dV is 2. That's what I have written. dV is 2. Original volume 600. Original volume 600. And pressure is 1.5 into 10 power 6. 1.5 into 10 power 6. Simplify this value with your calculator for getting 2.22 into 10 power minus 6. You know bulk modulus unit is Newton per meter square. Compressibility equal to 1 by bulk modulus. Therefore, its units is meter square per Newton. Meter square per Newton. That is the compressibility. 2.22 into 10 power minus 6. Look at the options. Look at the option D. 2.22 into 10 power minus 9 meter square per Newton. Therefore, option D is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 14th problem. Soap helps in cleaning clothes because you know when you use the soap or powders like rin powder or Tide powder, the surface tension of the liquid decreases. Therefore, by using the soap or some powders, Ariel powder, etc., the surface tension of the liquid decreases. Look at the option A. Dirt is absorbed. No. Option B. There occurs a change in chemical constituents of soap. No. Option C. Surface tension of the solution is decreased. Absolutely correct. By adding the soap or soap powder, the surface tension of the resultant liquid decreases. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 15th problem. If the capillary rise of water in 2 mm diameter tube is 1.5 centimeter, capillary rise H1 equal to 2 millimeters in a diameter of the tube is 1.5 mm. Okay. The height of the capillary rise in 0.5 mm diameter tube is, if the 1.5 mm diameter tube is replaced by other tube of diameter 0.5 mm, how much height the liquid can be raised? That is the problem. You know, capillary height capillary height H equal to 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. Here theta depending on the type of fluid, theta is approximately 0 for water. Theta is approximately 0 for water. Then sigma for a particular liquid, sigma remains constant. Sigma remains constant. Rho also remains constant because rho and sigma surface tension and density. Surface tension and density rho are constants because those are the liquid properties. G also constant. G also constant. Then H equal to what? H equal to some constant by D. Some constant by D. That means this term, 1 minute, this term is coming under a constant. This term is coming under a constant. This whole term is becoming a constant. Then I can write HD equal to constant. It means H1 D1 equal to H2 D2. Look at the H1 is given 2 into D1 1.5 equal to H2 you are asked to find D2 equal to 0.5. So from this the capillary height in the 0.5 mm diameter tube is 2 into 1.5 divided by 0.5. You simplify this value. For getting the required answer. So it is equal to 3 by 0.5. Indirectly 3 into 2 is equal to 6 mm. That is the answer. The capillary height in the other tube is 6 mm. Look at the option C. Option C is absolutely correct. 6 not mm, because the first case the height is given centimeters. Therefore this should be in centimeters. Should be very careful with the unit centimeter, because the height is H1 is given in centimeters. Therefore H2 comes in centimeters, 6 centimeters. Look at the options. Look at the option C. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the next problem. If the diameter of the capillary tube is doubled, the capillary rise will be. It is like this. H1 may be the capillary rise with a diameter D1. If the diameter is becoming double, D2 equal to 2 times the D1, what is the height of rise in the tube? As we know, H equal to 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. Since he is asking the relation between the diameter and capillary height, therefore all these terms are treated as constant. These terms are treated as constant. Then H equal to some constant by D, or HD equal to constant. If HD is constant, I can say that H1 D1 equal to H2 D2. Here H1 D1 equal to H2. D2 equal to what? 2D1. Now this D1 cancel. H2 equal to what? H2 equal to H1 by 2. That means when the size is doubled, when the capillary tube diameter is doubled, the height will be becoming half. Height will become half. Look at the option C. Height will become half. Therefore, option C is absolutely correct. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 17th problem. A glass tube of internal diameter 3 mm. Diameter of the glass tube is given 3 mm. Okay. Is immersed in a mercury. The angle of contact of mercury with glass tube. Angle of contact theta equal to 130 degrees. Okay. And surface tension of the liquid 0.48 meters. Surface tension denoted by sigma 0.48 Newton per meter. Okay. The drop of capillary means capillary depression is how much? Your capillary height H equal to formula 4 sigma cos theta by rho g d. It is equal to 4 sigma is given 0.48 multiplied by cos 130 degrees divided by density of, is it the water which is given for the problem? Mercury. So mercury density, specific gravity of the mercury equal to density of the mercury by density of the water. Density of the mercury by density of the water. Therefore, the density of the mercury equal to specific gravity of the mercury multiplied by density of the water. Specific gravity of the mercury, it is standard value 13.6 into density of the water, standard value 1000. It is equal to 13,600 kg per meter cube. That is the density of the mercury, 13,600. G need not be given, 9.81 into diameter. What is the diameter given? 3 mm. Let it be in meters. It is equal to 3 into 10 power minus 3 meters. So 3 into 10 power minus 3. You simplify this value for getting approximately minus 3.08 into 10 raised to minus 3 meters. The negative sign indicates capillary fall will happen or capillary depression occurs. The negative sign indicates the capillary depression. Capillary depression. Anyhow, the answer is, since it is in meters, you can also write in mm, 3.08 mm. He is asking capillary drop. Capillary drop means capillary depression only he is asking. To get from meter to mm, as we know, 1 meter equal to 10 power 3 mm. To convert from meter to mm, right, we have to multiply with 10 power 3. Then the answer is 3.08 mm. Look at the options. Look at the option C. Option C is 3.08 mm. Therefore, option C is correct. I hope you got my point. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 18th problem. One torr pressure is equivalent to, dear friends, as we know, 760 mm of Hg mercury is equal to 101,325 Pascal or Newton per meter square. From this, 1 mm of Hg means hygrogerum mercury equal to 101 325 divided by 760 is in Newton per meter square or Pascal. You simplify this value, it is approximately 133.34 Newton per meter square or Pascal. Anyhow, this 1 mm of Hg, this 1 mm of Hg is called, this 1 mm of Hg is called 1 torr. 1 torr. Therefore, 1 torr equal to 133.34 Newton per meter square or Pascal. So I hope you got my point. Look at the options. 1 torr pressure is equal to 1 mm of Hg. Therefore, option A itself is absolutely correct. Remember, 1 mm of Hg is also called 1 torr. Let us take one more problem. Look at the 19th problem. At a certain location in the flow field, pressure equal to 60 meters of water. Indirectly, pressure head of water given. Pressure head of water equal to 60 meters. Okay. The equivalent pressure head in terms of carbon tetrachloride of specific gravity 1.5. Equivalent pressure head of carbon tetrachloride, you are asked the specific gravity of carbon tetrachloride given 1.5. 1.5. That is the specific gravity of the carbon tetrachloride. Now, first let us find the pressure of water. Pressure of water. Pressure of water equal to rho into G into height. Rho G Z or rho G H. Density of water is 1000. G 9.81 need not be given. Multiplied by height of the head. Pressure head of the water is 60. You simplify this value for getting approximately 588,600 Newton per meter square. That is the pressure of the water. Therefore, equivalent pressure head of carbon tetrachloride, equivalent pressure head of carbon tetrachloride, carbon tetrachloride HC, equivalent pressure head of the carbon tetrachloride equal to pressure of the water divided by specific weight of carbon tetrachloride. Pressure of water is 588,600 divided by specific weight of carbon tetrachloride, the specific gravity of the carbon tetrachloride multiplied by the specific weight of the water. So the pressure head of the carbon tetrachloride 588,600 divided by specific gravity of the carbon tetrachloride given 1.5 into specific weight of water 9810. You simplify this value for getting 40 meters of carbon tetrachloride. Carbon tetrachloride. That is the answer. I hope you got my point. The answer is the equivalent pressure head of the carbon tetrachloride is 40 meters. Look at the options. Look at the last option. Option B. Option D is absolutely correct. Let us take the last problem. Look at the last problem. The depth of a point below water surface in sea where pressure intensity is 1.006 meganewton per meter square. Here pressure P is given 1.006 meganewton per meter square. It is equal to 1.006 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter square, because 1 mega Newton equal to 10 power 6 Newton. 1 mega Newton equal to 10 power 6 Newton. Very good. The specific gravity of seawater. Specific gravity of the seawater. Specific gravity of seawater is equal to 1.025. Then density of the seawater equal to specific gravity of the seawater into density of the normal water. Normal water. Here specific gravity of the seawater 1.025. Density of the normal water is 1000. It is 1025 kg per meter cube. That is the density of the seawater. Therefore, pressure of the seawater equal to, you are asked to find what? The depth of the pressure head of the seawater. Pressure of the seawater. Pressure of seawater P equal to density of the seawater rho G into pressure head of the seawater. Therefore, pressure head of the seawater, SW means seawater, equal to pressure divided by density of the seawater multiplied by G. Here pressure is how much? 1.006 into 10 raised to 6 divided by density of the seawater. Density of seawater 1025 multiplied by 9.81. You simplify this one. You simplify this value for getting approximately 100 meters. Therefore, pressure head of the seawater equal to 100 meters. Look at the options. Option A 100 meter. Option A itself is absolutely correct. I hope all of you understood. Dear friends, with this problem, I am concluding this video. Dear friends, I collected all these problems from different standard textbooks. Since the each and every problem is equally important for both mechanical and civil students who are particularly preparing for competitive exams like DRDO, ISRO, RRB JE, SSC JE, and other state level exams. While you are practicing, if you find any difficulty or doubt, please send the message immediately to the GeoByte. The GeoByte will answer all your questions within 24 hours. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel called GeoByte. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you for watching our video.
GeoByte.